Welcome to ExHub MCQs. Today's chapter is Forest and Wildlife Resources from Contemporary India 2. Let's begin learning. MCQ 1. What is the primary reason for conserving forests and wildlife? Option A. Economic benefits. Option B. Ecological balance. Option C. Urban expansion. Option D. Industrial development. The correct answer is option B. Ecological balance. Explanation. Conservation of forests and wildlife is essential to maintain ecological balance, which supports life by preserving biodiversity, regulating air and water quality, and maintaining soil fertility. It also helps in sustaining genetic diversity for agriculture and fisheries. MCQ 2. When was the Indian Wildlife Protection Act implemented? Option A. 1952. Option B. 1962, 1972. Option D. 1982. The correct answer is option C, 1972. Explanation. The Indian Wildlife Protection Act was enacted in 1972 to safeguard wildlife and their habitats. It includes provisions for protecting species and establishing national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. This was a significant step toward organized conservation efforts in India. MCQ 3. Which of the following is not a category of forests in India? Option A, reserved forests. Option B, unclassified forests. Option C, protected forests. Option D, open forests. The correct answer is option D, open forests. Explanation. Forests in India are classified as reserved, protected, and unclassed forests. Open forests is not a recognized category under the classification system. Reserved forests receive the highest protection, followed by protected forests. MCQ 4. What was the estimated tiger population in India at the turn of the 20th century? Option A, 10,000. Option B, 25,000. Option C, 55,000. Option D, 80,000. The correct answer is option C, 55,000. Explanation. At the beginning of the 20th century, the estimated tiger population in India was around 55,000. However, due to hunting, habitat loss, and poaching, this number significantly declined, prompting conservation initiatives like Project Tiger. MCQ 5. Which of the following is a well-known conservation initiative in India? Option A, Project Elephant. Option B, Project Dolphin. Option C, Project Tiger. Option D, Project Panther. The correct answer is option C, Project Tiger. Explanation. Project Tiger, launched in 1973, is one of the world's most prominent wildlife conservation efforts. It aims to protect tigers and their habitats, ensuring the survival of this keystone species. Several tiger reserves have been established under this project. MCQ 6. Which state has the largest area under permanent forests? Option A, Maharashtra. Option B, Madhya Pradesh. Option C, Kerala. Option D, Rajasthan. The correct answer is option B, Madhya Pradesh. Explanation. Madhya Pradesh has the largest area under permanent forests in India. These forests are maintained for conservation and resource management, providing critical habitats for wildlife. MCQ 7. What percentage of India's forests are classified as reserved forests? Option A, more than 50%. Option B, less than 20%. Option C, around 33%. Option D, nearly 10%. The correct answer is option A, more than 50%. Explanation. More than half of India's total forest land is designated as reserved forests, offering the highest level of protection. These forests are crucial for conservation and resource sustainability. MCQ 8. Which of these conservation efforts originated in Rajasthan? Option A, Bij Bachao Andolan. Option B, Chipko Movement. Option C, Project Hangle. Option D, Bishnoi Conservation. The correct answer is option D, Bishnoi Conservation. Explanation. The Bishnoi community in Rajasthan has been conserving wildlife and forests for centuries. They protect blackbucks, peacocks, and other species, demonstrating deep ecological consciousness. Their efforts are among India's oldest conservation practices. MCQ 9. What was a major reason for the sharp decline in the tiger population? Option A, expansion of forests. Option B, overpopulation of prey. Option C, habitat destruction and poaching. Option D, migration of tigers. The correct answer is option C, habitat destruction and poaching. Explanation: tigers face severe threats from habitat destruction, poaching for skins and bones, and human encroachment. The illegal wildlife trade has significantly contributed to their decline. MCQ 10. What is an example of a community-led conservation initiative? Option A, joint forest management. Industrial afforestation. Option C, private timber reserves. Option D, urban plantation program. The correct answer is option A, joint forest management. Explanation: joint forest management, JFM, involves local communities in protecting and restoring degraded forests. They receive benefits like non-timber forest produce and a share in the timber harvest, ensuring sustainability. MCQ 11. Which of the following is not an endangered species protected under Indian conservation programs? Option A, one-horned rhinoceros. Option B, snow leopard. Option C, blue whale. Option D, nilgai. The correct answer is option D, nilgai. Explanation: nilgai, or blue bull, is not considered endangered and is widely found across India. In contrast, the one-horned rhinoceros, snow leopard, and blue whale are under protection due to their declining populations. What is the primary objective of Project Tiger? Option A, to increase the population of all wild animals, to protect and conserve the Bengal tiger population. Option C, to promote ecotourism in tiger reserves. Option D, to reduce forest fires in national parks. The correct answer is option B, to protect and conserve the Bengal tiger population. Explanation: Project Tiger was launched in 1973 to protect and increase the declining population of tigers in India. It also ensures the conservation of entire ecosystems within tiger reserves. MCQ 13. What is the main reason for the loss of biodiversity in India? Option A, industrialization and deforestation. Option B, increase in tiger population. Option C, growth of protected areas. Option D, expansion of tribal settlements. The correct answer is option A, industrialization and deforestation. Explanation: industrialization, deforestation, urbanization, and illegal poaching are major causes of biodiversity loss in India. They lead to habitat destruction and fragmentation, threatening many species. MCQ 14. Which conservation movement successfully resisted deforestation in the Himalayas? Option A, Bishnoi movement. Option B, Silent Valley movement. Option C, Chipko movement. Option D, Narmada Bachao Andolan. The correct answer is option C, Chipko movement. Explanation: the Chipko movement, started in the 1970s in Uttarakhand, involved villagers hugging trees to prevent them from being cut down. It was a significant environmental movement advocating forest conservation. MCQ 15. Which of the following species is not given full legal protection under the Wildlife Protection Act? Option A, Indian elephant. Option B, blackbuck. Option C, house sparrow. Option D, great Indian bustard. The correct answer is option C, house sparrow. Explanation: the house sparrow is not classified under the endangered species list, unlike the Indian elephant, blackbuck, and great Indian bustard, which are legally protected from hunting and trade. MCQ 16. Which Indian state has a high percentage of unclassed forests managed by local communities? Option A, Gujarat, Odisha. Option C, Arunachal Pradesh. Option D, Tamil Nadu. The correct answer is option C, Arunachal Pradesh. Explanation. Many northeastern states, including Arunachal Pradesh, have a high percentage of unclassed forests, which are often managed by local communities for conservation and resource use. What is the role of joint forest management in India? Option A, government takes full control of forest conservation. Option B, local communities participate in managing forests. Option C, only private organizations manage forests. Option D, forests are leased to industries for maintenance. The correct answer is option B, local communities participate in managing forests. JFM involves local communities in managing and restoring degraded forests. In return, they benefit from non-timber forest produce and a share of harvested timber. MCQ18, which category of forests receives the highest level of protection in India? Option A, protected forests. Option B, unclassed forests. Option C, reserved forests. Option D, community forests. The correct answer is option C, reserved forests. Explanation. Reserved forests receive the highest protection status. They are crucial for biodiversity conservation and are protected from deforestation and commercial exploitation. MCQ19, which Indian conservation initiative was started to save freshwater and saltwater crocodiles? Option A, Project Tiger. Option B, Project Crocodile. Option C, Project Hangle. Option D, Project Dolphin. The correct answer is option B, Project Crocodile. Explanation. Project Crocodile was launched to protect freshwater and saltwater crocodile species in India. It aimed to increase their populations through conservation and breeding programs. MCQ20, what are sacred groves? Option A, community forests for logging. Option B, forest patches protected for religious and cultural beliefs. Option C, government-owned national parks. Option D, tree plantations near temples. The correct answer is option B, forest patches protected for religious and cultural beliefs. Explanation. Sacred groves are patches of forest preserved due to religious or cultural beliefs. Local communities protect these forests, making them biodiversity hotspots. Which of the following factors is not a major threat to wildlife conservation in India? Option A, poaching. Option B, habitat destruction. Option C, population growth. Option D, rainwater harvesting. The correct answer is option D, rainwater harvesting. Explanation. Poaching, habitat destruction, and population growth pose serious threats to wildlife, while rainwater harvesting is an environmental conservation practice that helps in water resource management. MCQ22. Which species is protected under Project Hangle? Option A, blackbuck. Option B, Kashmir stag. Option C, Asiatic lion. Option D, Indian pangolin. The correct answer is option B, Kashmir stag. Explanation. Project Hangle was initiated to protect the Kashmir stag, which is endemic to the forests of Jammu and Kashmir and faces severe threats due to habitat loss and poaching. MCQ 23. Which organization is responsible for implementing wildlife conservation laws in India? Option A, National Biodiversity Authority. Option B, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Option C, Central Pollution Control Board. Option D, National Green Tribunal. The correct answer is option B, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Explanation of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Memo FCC, oversees wildlife conservation laws and implements policies like the Wildlife Protection Act and environmental regulations. MCQ 24. In which year did the government first add plants to the list of protected species under the Wildlife Protection Act? Option A, 1972, option B, 1980, 1986, option D, 1991. The correct answer is option D, 1991. Explanation. In 1991, for the first time, plants were included in the protected species list under the Wildlife Protection Act, marking a significant step in botanical conservation. MCQ 25. What is the main objective of Bej Bachao Andolan? Option A, protecting endangered animals. Option B, conserving native seed varieties. Option C, promoting industrial farming. Option D, reducing air pollution. The correct answer is option B, conserving native seed varieties. Explanation. Bej Bachao Andolan is a movement focused on conserving traditional and indigenous seed varieties, promoting sustainable and chemical-free agriculture. MCQ 26. Which Indian conservation project focuses on protecting the one-horned rhinoceros? Option A, Project Rhino. Option B, Project Elephant. Option C, Project Hangle. Option D, Project Leopard. The correct answer is option A, Project Rhino. Explanation. Project Rhino aims to protect the one-horned rhinoceros, primarily found in Assam's Kaziranga National Park, from poaching and habitat loss. MCQ 27. The concept of joint forest management, JFM, was first introduced in which Indian state? Option A, Maharashtra. Option B, Odisha. Option C, Karnataka. Option D, Madhya Pradesh. The correct answer is option B, Odisha. Explanation. Odisha was the first state to introduce joint forest management in 1988, allowing local communities to participate in the management of degraded forests. MCQ 28. What is the primary reason for the decline of mangrove forests in India? Option A, excessive rainfall. Option B, industrial pollution and land reclamation. Option C, natural expansion of forests. Option D, growth of fish populations. The correct answer is option B, industrial pollution and land reclamation. Explanation. Industrial pollution, land reclamation, and human encroachment have led to a significant decline in mangrove forests, which are crucial for coastal biodiversity and protection against erosion. MCQ 29. Which Indian wildlife sanctuary is famous for the conservation of the great Indian bustard? Option A, Kaziranga National Park. Option B, Keoladeo National Park. Option C, Desert National Park. Option D, Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary. The correct answer is option C, Desert National Park. Desert National Park in Rajasthan is known for the conservation of the great Indian bustard, one of India's most critically endangered bird species. MCQ 30. What is the significance of Corbett National Park in India's conservation history? Option A, it was the first biosphere reserve. Option B, it is home to the largest number of elephants. Option C, it was the first national park of India. Option D, it is the largest wildlife sanctuary in India. The correct answer is option C, it was the first national park of India. Explanation. Established in 1936, Corbett National Park was India's first national park and played a significant role in launching Project Tiger for tiger conservation. What is the main purpose of national parks in India? Option A, to allow commercial logging. Option B, to serve as hunting grounds. Option C, to protect wildlife and ecosystems. Option D, to promote urban development. The correct answer is option C, to protect wildlife and ecosystems. Explanation. National parks are designated areas meant for the protection of wildlife and their ecosystems. They prohibit human activities like hunting and logging to ensure conservation. MCQ 32. Which of the following animals is protected under Project Elephant? Option A, snow leopard. Option B, Asiatic lion. Option C, Indian elephant. Option D, gharial. The correct answer is option C, Indian elephant. Explanation. Project Elephant was launched in 1992 to protect the Indian elephant and its habitat, addressing threats like poaching and habitat loss. MCQ 33. Which Indian state has the highest percentage of reserved forests? Option A, Maharashtra. Option B, Tamil Nadu. Option C, Madhya Pradesh. Option D, West Bengal. The correct answer is option C, Madhya Pradesh. Explanation: Madhya Pradesh has the largest area under reserved forests, which receive the highest level of protection to conserve biodiversity. MCQ 34. What role do forests play in maintaining ecological balance? Option A, they increase desertification. Option B, they provide oxygen and regulate climate. Option C, they encourage deforestation. Option D, they deplete water resources. The correct answer is option B. They provide oxygen and regulate climate. Explanation: forests absorb carbon dioxide, produce oxygen, regulate climate, conserve soil, and maintain biodiversity, making them crucial for ecological balance. MCQ 35. What is the primary reason for poaching of tigers in India? Option A, their fur is used in making carpets. Option B, their bones are used in traditional medicines. Option C, they damage crops. Option D, they are considered sacred. The correct answer is option B. Their bones are used in traditional medicines. Explanation: tigers are poached mainly for their bones, which are used in traditional Chinese medicines, making illegal trade a major threat to their survival. MCQ 36. What is a key feature of Project Tiger reserves? Option A, complete ban on human activities. Option B, focus on conserving the entire ecosystem. Option C, only tigers are protected. Option D, no restrictions on hunting. The correct answer is option B, focus on conserving the entire ecosystem. Explanation: Project Tiger not only protects tigers, but also conserves their entire ecosystem, ensuring the survival of prey species and habitat sustainability. MCQ 37. Which of the following is not a characteristic of protected forests? Option A, they are legally safeguarded. Option B, they are managed by the government. Option C, they are open for industrial exploitation. Option D, they receive some level of conservation protection. The correct answer is option C, they are open for industrial exploitation. Explanation: protected forests have legal safeguards and conservation measures, but they are not entirely free from human activities, like grazing and collection of minor forest produce. MCQ 38. What makes Kaziranga National Park famous? Option A, it is India's first national park. Option B, it has the highest population of one-horned rhinoceroses. Option C, it is the largest national park in India. Option D, it is known for snow leopards. The correct answer is option B. It has the highest population of one-horned rhinoceroses. Explanation: Kaziranga National Park in Assam is home to the world's largest population of one-horned rhinoceroses, making it a key site for their conservation. MCQ 39. Why are mangrove forests important? Option A, they provide timber for commercial use. Option B, they act as natural barriers against coastal erosion. Option C, they help in desert formation. Option D, they are used for agriculture. The correct answer is option B. They act as natural barriers against coastal erosion. Explanation: mangrove forests protect coastlines from erosion, storm surges, and tsunamis. They also support a rich variety of marine and terrestrial species. MCQ 40. What was the main focus of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972? Option A, encouraging forest clearance for agriculture. Option B, providing legal protection to endangered species. Option C, promoting hunting as a sport. Option D, increasing trade in wildlife products. The correct answer is option B, providing legal protection to endangered species. Explanation: the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 aimed to provide legal protection to endangered species by banning hunting, restricting trade, and establishing national parks and sanctuaries. YEMC 41. Which Indian conservation movement involved villagers hugging trees to prevent deforestation? Option A, Chipko movement. Option B, Silent Valley movement. Option C, Narmada Bachao Andolan. Option D, Bej Bachao Andolan. The correct answer is option A, Chipko movement. Explanation. The Chipko movement began in the 1970s in Uttarakhand, where villagers, especially women, hugged trees to prevent them from being cut down, emphasizing forest conservation. YEMC 42. What is the primary objective of joint forest management? Option A, privatizing forest land. Option B, encouraging deforestation. Option C, involving local communities in forest conservation. Promoting monoculture plantations. The correct answer is option C, involving local communities in forest conservation. Explanation. Joint Forest Management, JFM, is a government initiative that involves local communities in protecting and managing forests in exchange for benefits like non-timber forest products. YEMC 43. In which year was the Wildlife Protection Act enacted in India? Option A, 1952. Option B, 1962. Option C, 1972. Option D. The correct answer is option C, 1972. Explanation. The Wildlife Protection Act was enacted in 1972 to provide legal protection to endangered species and regulate wildlife conservation across India. YEMC 44. Which type of forest in India is managed by both government and local communities? Option A, reserved forests. Option B, protected forests. Option C, unclassed forests. Option D, commercial forests. The correct answer is option C, unclassed forests. Explanation. Unclassed forests are managed by both government and local communities. They have minimal conservation regulations and are often used for community needs. YEMC 45. What is the main cause of habitat loss in India? Option A, overgrazing by domestic animals. Option B, forest fires. Option C, urbanization and deforestation. Option D, natural disasters. The correct answer is option C, urbanization and deforestation. Explanation. Urbanization and deforestation are the primary causes of habitat loss, leading to declining wildlife populations and loss of biodiversity. YEMC 46. Which of the following species is not critically endangered in India? Option A, snow leopard. Option B, great Indian bustard. Option C, house sparrow. Option D, Kashmiri stag. The correct answer is option C, house sparrow. Explanation. The house sparrow is not critically endangered, while the snow leopard, great Indian bustard, and Kashmiri stag face severe threats and require conservation efforts. YEMC 47. Which Indian conservation initiative focuses on saving endangered bird species? Option A, Project Elephant. Option B, Project Tiger. Option C, Project Hangul, Project Vulture. The correct answer is option D, Project Vulture. Explanation. Project Vulture was launched to protect vulture populations in India, which have drastically declined due to poisoning from veterinary drugs like diclofenac. YEMC 48. What is a characteristic of reserved forests in India? Option A, they are open for timber extraction. Option B, they have the highest level of protection. Option C, they are owned by private individuals. Option D, they are used for commercial plantations. The correct answer is option B, they have the highest level of protection. Reserved forests have the highest level of protection and are critical for conserving biodiversity, ensuring minimal human interference. YEMC 49. Which of the following is a reason for the decline in India's wetland ecosystems? Option A, overfishing. Option B, water pollution and drainage. Option C, increased bird populations. Option D, conservation efforts. The correct answer is option B, water pollution and drainage. Explanation. Water pollution and drainage are major causes of wetland degradation in India, leading to loss of habitat for migratory birds and aquatic species. MCQ 50. What was the first national park established in India? Option A, Kaziranga National Park. Option B, Sundarbans National Park. Option C, Corbett National Park. Option D, Gir National Park. The correct answer is option C, Corbett National Park. Explanation. Corbett National Park, established in 1936, was the first national park in India. It later became an important tiger reserve under Project Tiger. MCQ 51. Which of the following is not a function of forests? Option A, regulating climate. Option B, preventing soil erosion. Option C, increasing air pollution. Option D, providing habitat for wildlife. The correct answer is option C, increasing air pollution. Explanation. Forests help regulate climate, prevent soil erosion, and support biodiversity. They absorb carbon dioxide, reducing air pollution rather than increasing it. MCQ 52. Which of these animals is protected under the Indian Wildlife Protection Act but still faces poaching threats? Option A, Asiatic lion. Option B, Indian pangolin. Option C, house lizard. Option D, common myna. The correct answer is option B, Indian pangolin. Explanation. The Indian pangolin is protected under the Wildlife Protection Act, but it faces poaching threats due to illegal trade for its scales and meat. MCQ 53. What is the main objective of Project Snow Leopard? Option A, to protect high-altitude forests. Option B, to conserve the snow leopard and its habitat. Option C, to increase tourism in mountain regions. Option D, to control the population of mountain goats. The correct answer is option B, to conserve the snow leopard and its habitat. Explanation. Project Snow Leopard was launched to conserve the endangered snow leopard and its fragile mountain habitat in the Himalayan region. MCQ 54. Which national park is famous for the conservation of the Asiatic lion? Option A, Sundarbans National Park. Option B, Gir National Park. Jim Corbett National Park. Option D, Kaziranga National Park. The correct answer is option B, Gir National Park. Explanation. Gir National Park in Gujarat is the only place in the world where the Asiatic lion exists in the wild, making it crucial for their conservation. MCQ 55. What percentage of India's total forest area is classified as protected forests? Option A, nearly 10%. Option B, around 33%. Option C, more than 50%. Option D, less than 5%. The correct answer is option B, around 33%. About 1/3, 33% of India's total forest area is classified as protected forests, which receive some level of legal conservation but allow limited human activities. MCQ 56. Which of the following is a primary benefit of sacred groves? Option A, they increase commercial wood production. Option B, they provide religious spaces for meditation. Option C, they serve as biodiversity hotspots. Option D, they support urban expansion. The correct answer is option C, they serve as biodiversity hotspots. Explanation. Sacred groves are protected patches of forest maintained due to religious beliefs and serve as biodiversity hotspots, preserving rare species. Why was the Indian Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 enacted? Option A, to encourage hunting for sport. Option B, to provide legal protection to endangered species. Option C, to privatize forest land. Option D, to increase industrial access to forest resources. The correct answer is option B, to provide legal protection to endangered species. Explanation. The Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 was enacted to provide legal protection to endangered species and establish conservation areas like national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. MCQ 58. What is the main objective of the Manus Tiger Reserve? Option A, to conserve coral reefs. Option B, to protect the Indian tiger population. Option C, to promote large-scale agriculture. Option D, to increase hydropower production. The correct answer is option B, to protect the Indian tiger population. Manus Tiger Reserve, located in Assam, is dedicated to protecting the Bengal tiger and preserving its rich biodiversity. MCQ 59. Which Indian wildlife sanctuary is known for housing the endangered one-horned rhinoceros? Option A, Sundarbans Wildlife Sanctuary. Option B, Kaziranga National Park. Option C, Dachigam National Park. Option D, Valley of Flowers National Park. The correct answer is option B, Kaziranga National Park. Explanation. Kaziranga National Park in Assam is famous for conserving the one-horned rhinoceros, which was once on the brink of extinction. MCQ 60. What is a major reason for the loss of biodiversity in India? Option A, sustainable agriculture. Option B, overexploitation of resources. Option C, wildlife conservation efforts. Option D, natural population control. The correct answer is option B, overexploitation of resources. Explanation. Overexploitation of resources through deforestation, poaching, and habitat destruction is a major cause of biodiversity loss in India. MCQ 61. Which conservation effort was launched to protect 3 types of crocodiles in India? Option A, Project Hangal. Option B, Project Crocodile. Option C, Project Dolphin. Option D, Project Vulture. The correct answer is option B, Project Crocodile. Explanation. Project Crocodile was launched to protect freshwater crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles, and the gharial in India, addressing habitat loss and poaching threats. MCQ 62. What is the primary aim of Project Elephant? Option A, to increase elephant populations in zoos. Option B, to protect elephants and their habitats. Option C, to promote elephant tourism. Option D, to train elephants for forestry work. The correct answer is option B, to protect elephants and their habitats. Explanation. Project Elephant, launched in 1992, focuses on the conservation of elephants, their habitats, and reducing human-elephant conflicts. MCQ 63. Which Indian state has a high percentage of unclassed forests? Option A, Maharashtra. Option B, Odisha. Option C, Arunachal Pradesh. Option D, Tamil Nadu. The correct answer is option C, Arunachal Pradesh. Explanation. Arunachal Pradesh and other northeastern states have a high percentage of unclassed forests, which are often managed by local communities. MCQ 64. What is a major threat to India's wetland ecosystems? Option A, excessive rainfall. Option B, industrial pollution and drainage. Option C, increased fish populations. Option D, wildlife protection laws. The correct answer is option B, industrial pollution and drainage. Explanation. Industrial pollution and drainage for agriculture have led to a significant decline in wetland ecosystems, threatening aquatic biodiversity. MCQ 65. Which community in Rajasthan is known for wildlife conservation and protecting blackbucks? Option A, Bishnoi community. Option B, Santhal tribe. Option C, Bhil tribe. Option D, Gond community. The correct answer is option A, Bishnoi community. Explanation. The Bishnoi community in Rajasthan is famous for protecting blackbucks and other wildlife, following traditional conservation practices. MCQ 66. Which conservation strategy focuses on local community involvement in forest protection? Option A, Joint Forest Management, JFM. Option B, Private Timber Reserves. Option C, Industrial Afforestation. Option D, Government-only conservation programs. The correct answer is option A, Joint Forest Management, JFM. Explanation. Joint Forest Management, JFM, involves local communities in protecting and managing forests, allowing them to benefit from non-timber resources. MCQ 67. Why was Project Tiger initiated in 1973? Option A, to increase ecotourism. Option B, to save the declining tiger population. Option C, to promote tiger hunting for trade. Option D, to develop tiger breeding farms. The correct answer is option B, to save the declining tiger population. Explanation. Project Tiger was launched to protect the declining tiger population, which had dropped drastically due to poaching and habitat destruction. MCQ 68. Which factor is not a major cause of deforestation in India? Option A, urbanization. Option B, agricultural expansion. Option C, wildlife conservation. Option D, industrialization. The correct answer is option C, wildlife conservation. Explanation. Wildlife conservation aims to preserve forests, while urbanization, agriculture, and industrialization contribute to deforestation. MCQ 69. Which Indian bird species is critically endangered due to habitat loss? Option A, peacock. Option B, great Indian bustard. Option C, pigeon. Option D, hornbill. The correct answer is option B, great Indian bustard. Explanation. The great Indian bustard is critically endangered due to habitat destruction, poaching, and declining grassland ecosystems. MCQ 70. What was the key feature of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972? Option A, allowed unrestricted hunting. Option B, established legal protection for endangered species. Option C, encouraged deforestation. Option D, allowed trade in animal skins. The correct answer is option B, established legal protection for endangered species. Explanation. The Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 provided legal protection to endangered species, banned hunting, and created national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. MCQ 71. Which national park in India is known for the conservation of the Royal Bengal tiger? Option A, Gir National Park. Option B, Kaziranga National Park. Option C, Corbett National Park. Option D, Sundarbans National Park. The correct answer is option D, Sundarbans National Park. Explanation. Sundarbans National Park in West Bengal is famous for conserving the Royal Bengal tiger, which thrives in its unique mangrove habitat. MCQ 72. What was the primary reason behind the establishment of Project Tiger? Option A, to promote ecotourism. Option B, to protect forests from deforestation. Option C, to conserve the Bengal tiger population. Option D, to increase timber production. The correct answer is option C, to conserve the Bengal tiger population. Explanation. Project Tiger was launched in 1973 to address the rapid decline of the Bengal tiger population due to poaching and habitat loss. MCQ 73. Which of the following is not a protected species under Indian conservation laws? Option A, Indian elephant. Option B, gharial. Option C, house crow. Option D, snow leopard. The correct answer is option C, house crow. Explanation. The house crow is a common bird and is not listed under endangered or protected species in Indian conservation laws. MCQ 74. Which initiative was launched to protect India's wetland ecosystems? Option A, Project Snow Leopard. Option B, Project Hangul. Option C, National Wetland Conservation Program. Option D, Project Dolphin. The correct answer is option C, National Wetland Conservation Program. Explanation: the National Wetland Conservation Program was initiated to protect and restore wetland ecosystems, which are crucial for biodiversity and water regulation. MCQ 75. What percentage of India's total forest area is classified as reserved forests? Option A, around 10%. Option B, more than 50%. Option C, less than 5%. Option D, about 25%. The correct answer is option B, more than 50%. More than 50% of India's total forest area is classified as reserved forests, receiving the highest level of protection under conservation laws. MCQ 76. Which community-led conservation movement originated in the Himalayas? Option A, Chipko movement. Option B, Silent Valley movement. Option C, Narmada Bachao Andolan. Option D, Baj Bachao Andolan. The correct answer is option A, Chipko movement. Explanation: the Chipko movement, started in the 1970s, involved villagers hugging trees to prevent deforestation, highlighting the importance of community-led conservation. MCQ 77. Which wildlife species is mainly found in Dachigam National Park? Option A, black buck. Option B, Kashmiri stag Hangal. Option C, Asiatic lion. Option D, nilgai. The correct answer is option B, Kashmiri stag Hangal. Explanation: Dachigam National Park in Jammu and Kashmir is the primary habitat of the Kashmiri stag Hangal, which is critically endangered. MCQ 78. What is a key objective of joint forest management? Option A, privatizing forest land. Option B, encouraging commercial logging. Option C, involving local communities in forest conservation. Option D, allowing unrestricted hunting. The correct answer is option C, involving local communities in forest conservation. Explanation: JFM focuses on involving local communities in forest protection and sustainable management while ensuring ecological balance. MCQ 79. Which Indian conservation initiative focuses on protecting endangered aquatic mammals? Option A, Project Tiger. Option B, Project Dolphin. Option C, Project Hangal. Project Elephant. The correct answer is option B, Project Dolphin. Explanation: Project Dolphin was launched to protect freshwater dolphins, particularly the Ganges River dolphin, which is endangered due to pollution and habitat destruction. MCQ 80. Which conservation method relies on traditional beliefs and cultural practices? Option A, commercial afforestation. Option B, sacred groves. Option C, industrial forestry. Option D, urban plantation programs. The correct answer is option B, sacred groves. Explanation: sacred groves are protected patches of forest maintained due to religious and cultural beliefs, preserving rare plant and animal species. MCQ 81. Which type of forest receives the highest level of legal protection in India? Option A, unclassed forests. Option B, protected forests. Option C, reserved forests. Option D, community forests. The correct answer is option C, reserved forests. Explanation: reserved forests receive the highest level of legal protection in India and are managed for conservation and resource sustainability. MCQ 82. Which Indian state has the largest area under forest cover? Option A, Maharashtra. Option B, Madhya Pradesh. Option C, Kerala. Option D, Rajasthan. The correct answer is option B, Madhya Pradesh. Explanation: Madhya Pradesh has the largest forest cover in India, with a significant portion classified as reserved forests for conservation. MCQ 83. What is the major cause of the declining population of the Great Indian Bustard? Option A, climate change. Option B, habitat destruction. Option C, overbreeding. Option D, competition from other species. The correct answer is option B, Habitat destruction. Explanation. Habitat destruction due to agricultural expansion, infrastructure development, and poaching has led to the drastic decline of the great Indian bustard population. MCQ 84. Why are forests called the lungs of the earth? Option A. They absorb noise pollution. Option B. They provide shelter to animals. Option C. They release oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide. Option D. They generate groundwater. The correct answer is option C. They release oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide. Explanation. Forests are known as the lungs of the earth because they release oxygen through photosynthesis and absorb carbon dioxide, helping regulate global climate. MCQ 85. Which of the following is not a function of forests? Option A. Preventing soil erosion. Option B. Supporting biodiversity. Option C. Increasing carbon emissions. Option D. Regulating water cycles. The correct answer is option C, increasing carbon emissions. Explanation. Forests reduce carbon emissions by absorbing carbon dioxide, playing a key role in mitigating climate change. MCQ 86. Which act regulates the establishment of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in India? Option A. Environment Protection Act, 1986. Option B. Wildlife Protection Act, 1972. Option C. Forest Conservation Act, 1980. Option D. Biodiversity Act, 2002. The correct answer is option B, Wildlife Protection Act, 1972. Explanation. The Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 regulates the establishment of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and other protected areas in India. MCQ 87. Which region in India has the highest percentage of forest cover? Option A, Western Ghats. Option B, Northeastern states. Option C, Rajasthan. Option D, Deccan Plateau. The correct answer is option B, Northeastern states. Explanation. The northeastern states of India have the highest percentage of forest cover, including dense tropical and temperate forests. MCQ 88. What is the primary goal of Project Hangul? Option A, to conserve the Asiatic lion. Option B, to protect the Kashmir stag. Option C, to increase tiger population. Option D, to regulate hunting laws. The correct answer is option B, to protect the Kashmir stag. Explanation. Project Hangul was launched to protect the critically endangered Kashmir stag, Hangul, primarily found in Jammu and Kashmir. MCQ 89. Which Indian wildlife sanctuary is famous for its saltwater crocodile conservation? Option A, Manas Wildlife Sanctuary. Option B, Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary. Option C, Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary. Option D, Keoladeo National Park. The correct answer is option B, Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary. Explanation. Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary in Odisha is well known for the conservation of saltwater crocodiles and mangrove ecosystems. MCQ 90. Why is biodiversity important for human survival? Option A, it provides entertainment. It ensures ecological balance and sustains life support systems. Option C, it promotes urban expansion. Option D, it increases industrial profits. The correct answer is option B, it ensures ecological balance and sustains life support systems. Explanation. Biodiversity plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance, providing food, clean air, and water, which are essential for human survival. MCQ 91. What is the main aim of the Bej Bachao Andolan? Option A, protecting endangered birds. Option B, conserving traditional seed varieties. Option C, promoting monoculture farming. Option D, increasing pesticide use. The correct answer is option B, conserving traditional seed varieties. Explanation. Bej Bachao Andolan focuses on conserving traditional seed varieties and promoting sustainable, chemical-free farming methods. MCQ 92. Which of the following is a key function of wetlands? Option A, increasing soil salinity. Option B, providing habitat for migratory birds. Option C, encouraging deforestation. Option D, reducing fish populations. The correct answer is option B, providing habitat for migratory birds. Explanation. Wetlands play a crucial role in providing habitats for migratory birds, supporting aquatic biodiversity, and acting as natural water filters. MCQ 93. What is the primary reason for human-wildlife conflict in India? Option A, lack of awareness. Option B, habitat destruction and encroachment. Option C, excessive rainfall. Option D, increase in forest area. The correct answer is option B, habitat destruction and encroachment. Explanation. Habitat destruction and human encroachment into wildlife territories lead to frequent human-wildlife conflicts, especially with elephants, tigers, and leopards. MCQ 94. Which of the following is an example of a community-led forest conservation effort? Option A, industrial forestry. Option B, joint forest management, JFM. Option C, commercial timber plantations. Option D, government-only conservation programs. The correct answer is option B, joint forest management. Explanation. Joint forest management, JFM, is a community-led initiative where locals actively participate in protecting and managing forests. MCQ 95. Why are mangrove forests important for coastal areas? Option A, they increase deforestation. Option B, they serve as natural barriers against storms and erosion. Option C, they promote salt accumulation. Option D, they reduce marine biodiversity. The correct answer is option B, they serve as natural barriers against storms and erosion. Explanation. Mangrove forests act as natural barriers against storms, tidal waves, and coastal erosion, protecting coastal communities and marine life. MCQ 96. Which is the largest tiger reserve in India? Option A, Sundarbans Tiger Reserve. Option B, Nagarjun-Sagar Tiger Reserve. Option C, Corbett Tiger Reserve. Option D, Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. The correct answer is option B, Nagarjun-Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve. Explanation. Nagarjun-Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve, located in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, is India's largest tiger reserve by area. MCQ 97. How does deforestation contribute to climate change? Option A, it increases oxygen levels. Option B, it releases stored carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Option C, it prevents soil erosion. Option D, it reduces air pollution. The correct answer is option B, it releases stored carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Explanation. Deforestation results in the release of stored carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas, contributing to climate change and global warming. MCQ 98. Which organization is primarily responsible for wildlife conservation in India? Option A, Central Pollution Control Board. Option B, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. Option C, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Option D, National Green Tribunal. The correct answer is option C, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Explanation. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, MOEFC, oversees wildlife conservation policies and projects in India. MCQ 99. What is the role of biosphere reserves in conservation? Option A, they support biodiversity and sustainable use of natural resources. Option B, they allow industrial activities. Option C, they promote deforestation. Option D, they encourage hunting of endangered species. The correct answer is option A. They support biodiversity and sustainable use of natural resources. Explanation. Biosphere reserves are designated areas that support biodiversity conservation while allowing sustainable use of natural resources by local communities. What is the primary reason for the depletion of India's forest resources? Option A, overgrazing by cattle. Option B, illegal logging and deforestation. Option C, expansion of protected areas. Option D, community afforestation. The correct answer is option B, illegal logging and deforestation. Explanation. Illegal logging, deforestation, and commercial exploitation of forest resources are the main reasons for forest depletion in India. That brings us to the end of today's session on forest and wildlife resources. We hope you found these MCQs helpful in understanding key concepts related to biodiversity, conservation efforts, and environmental sustainability. At ExHub MCQs, our goal is to make learning engaging, effective, and exam-oriented. If you enjoyed this session, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more high-quality MCQs on various subjects. Your support helps us create more valuable content for learners like you. If you have any doubts, suggestions, or specific topics you'd like us to cover, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay consistent in your preparation, and remember, practice is the key to success. Keep revising, stay curious, and keep learning with ExHub MCQs. See you in the next video with more exciting MCQs. Until then, keep learning, stay motivated, and all the best for your exams. This is ExHub MCQs, signing off. Happy studying.